My name is Dave Citron, and I'm a Director of Product Management for Voice and Video Products in Google Workspace. I'm pleased to welcome you all to this breakout session on boosting collaboration in the hybrid workplace. Today, we're going to learn about a real-life journey of a customer that has adopted Google Workspace for their hybrid workforce, and the challenges and successes they found along the way. I'm also going to share some product updates on new features coming to Meet, Calendar, and Chat that will make a real difference for hybrid teams. First, I'd like to share some research that's helping shape how we think about hybrid work at Google. Working with Economist Impact, we deployed a global survey to assess hybrid work across more than 1,200 employees in 12 different countries and gained some really important insights. First, while more than 75% of respondents said hybrid or flexible work will be a standard practice within their organization in the coming 3 years, only 24% of those respondents believe their organization has the right mix of policies and technology to make this sustainable. That's a big gap. And since research shows more than 55% of employees want to work remotely at least 3 days a week, we know this is something Workspace customers are experiencing right now. To better understand how our customers are working to overcome these challenges, I'm excited to welcome Nerina Martinez, Senior Technology Director at Iron Mountain, who led their transition to Google Workspace. Nerina, it's such a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dave. Happy to be here.
For some background, can you tell us a little bit about Iron Mountain?
Yeah, absolutely. So Iron Mountain is the global leader for storage and information management services. We are trusted by more than 225,000 organizations across the globe to protect billions of valued assets. And our services include information management, digital transformation, secure storage and destruction, data centers, cloud services, and art storage and logistics.
Thanks, Nerina. Tell us about your transition to Workspace and what drove that decision.
Sure. So back in 2018, there was a lot of focus around how Iron Mountain can support our customers through their digital transformation journeys. And it was also a time for us to reflect internally and think about the culture that we wanted to create in order to enable this growth. The three areas of focus that we identified were real-time collaboration, anywhere, any device, so a platform that could be supported across all devices, video enablement. Google stood out in these areas because of their rate of product innovation and ease of use for our employees. But of course, all of this had to be underpinned by world-class security and performance. And with Google Workspace, we're actually able to simplify our security stack because a lot of the security tools are already built into the platform. And we have more control over our users' data with features like DLP and Google Drive visitor sharing. And we went live on Google Workspace in January of 2020, not knowing what was coming ahead, but it's really been an incredible journey thus far.
It's so great to hear how Workspace is helping Iron Mountain. As so many companies are starting to experiment with hybrid work, could you share some of the biggest hybrid pain points you've experienced and how Workspace has helped you solve them?
Absolutely. So when the pandemic first hit, and I think this is probably true for many of us, everything was changing so quickly from day to day. We had our frontline employees that were showing up on site to our facilities to support our customers. And then we had a large percentage of our workforce that was transitioning to a fully remote working situation. And it was amazing to see how teams were coming together in Google Workspace to get things done. One of my favorite examples is within a matter of days, we were able to set up a process to track and report on employee health, personal protective equipment, PPE, and facility closures by simply using Google Docs, Sheets, and Data Studio. And then as we transition into more of a hybrid working rhythm, Google launched Smart Canvas for Google Drive, and with features like Smart Chips, pageless docs, and action items. And these things might sound small, but they really made working together easier and more efficient for all of our employees. The third thing I'll mention was the adoption of video actually happened really quickly for us. We were not using video at all on our previous platform, and I think this was a really critical component in helping to improve our employee well-being during a time when many felt so isolated. And seeing the adoption of video, we used that as an opportunity to outfit many of our conference rooms with Google Meet hardware that we were able to install for about a quarter of the price to our previous video conferencing solution and with a much better user experience for our employees.
That's great. I love hearing stories of how Google Meet helps teams feel connected, even when they're apart. Could you highlight some workspace best practices that have helped Iron Mountain in your hybrid work transition?
Sure. So Google Chat Spaces have really been instrumental in changing how we work. So, in many of the projects that I'm involved in, we do not use email at all to discuss the project. We use Spaces for everything from brainstorming to decision making, and it just really helps us all be more agile as a team. The second thing I'll mention is we also promoted the use of speedy meetings, which moved us away from an hour-long meeting mindset to now averaging 31 minutes per meeting, which is really amazing, and we're very proud of that. And then finally, when Google introduced companion mode, it was a huge win for those that were heading back into the office because it still gave them the ability to contribute to the meeting as an individual by sharing their screen, raising their hand, as they did when they were at home, even though they were physically in a conference room.
Thanks so much, Nerina. I'm really glad to hear you're having success with companion mode, and we have some exciting news to share on companion mode coming up. It's amazing how far Iron Mountain has come, and your experience speaks to the fundamental challenges we see for many of our customers in the transition to hybrid work. And we've been working hard to solve these challenges associated with hybrid work. First, a key concern for our customers is that not having a successful hybrid meeting strategy will deter employees from going back into the office. So we're working hard to create a productive in-meeting room experience for hybrid meetings. Second, we see customers needing to build community among their hybrid workforce based on shared interests and authentic human connection. And finally, we understand that companies want to help workers to be more productive by providing tools that work together seamlessly and help them manage their time and attention. So first, let's start with hybrid-friendly meetings. We've certainly experienced these challenges at Google. As we moved into hybrid work, it was apparent that the dynamic of having remote and on-site meeting attendees was a step behind for the fully remote experience we had grown accustomed to. It was difficult to provide an authentic and inclusive experience for all participants. To help address this, we added a number of exciting innovations to Google Meet, including Portrait Restore, to address issues with video quality caused by low light, low quality webcams or poor network connectivity, and automatic noise cancellation to filter out background noise so you can have conference room audio quality, whether you're in a basement, a kitchen, or on the go. This embedded intelligence is made possible by Google's machine learning technologies. As people were returning to offices, we worked to solve another challenge. People expected the same meeting tools they had when working from home. So we introduced companion mode, giving in-person participants the ability to participate in Q&A, chat, and also be able to easily share content from the conference room. On top of that, we also enabled people in meeting rooms the ability to send their personal video tile into the meeting through their laptop. That way, they can show up as an individual, much like they would when they were remote, rather than a small part of the conference room tile. And we also recently updated our Google Meet conference room devices with an easy-to-use Frame People button that automatically frames people in the room. And while this is a step in the right direction, we want to provide even better options to bridge the divide between the home office and the conference room. That's why I'm so excited about the new adaptive framing capabilities in Google Meet rooms. These new framing capabilities are designed to better represent meeting room participants within the virtual meeting. Over the next several months, we'll be introducing continuous framing, speaker tracking, and audience reaction into Google Meet meeting rooms with our partners Huddly and Logitech. And today, I'm excited to show you how it will work. We've all seen when a conference room dials into a hybrid meeting and everyone is so small you can hardly tell who is speaking. Well, with the new speaker framing feature coming to Google Meet Series 1 hardware, everyone will be able to clearly see who is speaking in the room because the active speaker will be perfectly framed. Series 1 devices will alternate between active speaker view and an overview of the room. Both are made possible through a single Huddly camera. But it's not enough just to see the active speaker. To see a full understanding of the meeting, you should also see audience reaction. Both of these features will be supported on Series 1 devices through a 3-camera system. This system tracks and quickly switches between active speakers and other participants in the room, giving the audience full context of what is happening. For customers using Meet on the Logitech Rally Bar or Rally Bar Mini, the new Logitech site helps remote employees get the best perspective in every hybrid meeting through AI-powered video and crystal clear audio. I'm lucky enough to have an early sample of site to show you today. This tabletop camera works hand in hand with the Meet certified Rally Bar or Rally Bar Mini to capture and present virtual attendees with the best view of the meeting room action. In this video, you'll see how Logitech's site uses audio, video, and AI to detect active speakers around the table and accurately frame the participants. It features 2 cameras, each offering 180 degrees to give a face-forward view of all participants, automatically cropping and framing the appropriate people. With Hudley and Logitech, we are working to bring meeting room participants front and center so that they can be fully represented in the meeting. And we're also expanding our companion mode capabilities to help in-room participants better represent themselves in hybrid meetings. Sometimes bringing your laptop to the room to use companion mode isn't possible. That's why I'm so excited to bring companion mode to mobile, and early next year to tablets, both Android and iOS. These enhancements will give you much more flexibility in joining companion mode with a device of your choice. Now you can just walk into a room and easily connect your phone without thinking about it. That's certainly become the preference for me and my team. But equal representation in the conference room goes beyond good video. It's important for everyone on the call to be able to know who is in the conference room. For large, extended team meetings, we sometimes meet with people we're not familiar with. Today, when someone joins from the meeting room, it's the name of the meeting room that shows up rather than the people in the room. To solve this challenge, Google Meet hardware will soon allow room participants to check into the meeting. When you check into a room, your name will start to appear next to the room name and within the Meet people list, so it's easy for remote participants to identify you on screen. We're bringing check-in first to companion mode and next year via QR code to make check-ins a regular part of every hybrid meeting. Speaking of giving meeting rooms better representation, we're also making it possible for Google Meet devices to join breakout rooms. Breakout rooms allow meeting organizers to easily split the meeting into smaller groups for small group or topic-based discussions, or to help increase engagement and creativity within the meeting. Now meeting rooms can easily join those breakout rooms, extending this powerful meeting tool to work whether participants are fully remote or in the office. Next, let's talk about community and connection. Even with all these hybrid-friendly meeting improvements, the answer isn't always just another meeting. As Nerina mentioned, hybrid workers want to connect and collaborate at the times that work best for them. That's why some recent enhancements for Spaces in Google Chat have made a real difference for my team. Spaces give teams a place for topic-based collaboration inside of Google Chat, with powerful integration with other workspace tools like Drive, Tasks, Docs, Sheets, and Slides. The ability to search, discover, and join Spaces has made it possible to connect with other teams and find answers anywhere within your organization, not just within the existing work groups. Of course, whenever teams are working on something confidential, it's easy to keep Spaces private and invite only. Previously, Spaces worked really well for small to medium project teams, but now that an individual space can support up to 8,000 members, we're seeing new communities and connections emerge all across Google. And the new threaded conversation model, announced earlier this year and coming soon to all workspace users, lets people have deep conversations on specific topics without interrupting the overall flow of the conversation within the space. Whether your interest is fitness, travel, pets, or yes, tacos, Spaces enable you to create a place to connect with others. And new custom emoji make the conversation more personal and expressive. But large spaces aren't just for fun. For example, you can set up a space to communicate with your frontline workforce, and early next year, we're enabling organizations to create broadcast-only spaces for announcements and updates. Finally, we're continuing to add new features to Spaces that ensure the conversation stays healthy, safe, and inclusive. The ability to establish additional space managers, released earlier this year, lets you scale the moderation responsibilities across multiple members of a community. Space managers can post public guidelines that establish clear standards of conduct for a given community and delete inappropriate content whenever they find it. Early next year, we're enabling individual users to flag messages that violate community standards and a back-end reporting view in the Workspace console. With this range of new and existing features, I'm excited for the vibrant, inclusive communities that will become possible for Workspace users. Now let's shift gears and talk about productivity and focus. While staying connected is important, it's imperative to find focus and efficiency so that you can stay productive and be your best self, both at work and at home. Smart Canvas has transformed how people collaborate through a flexible, intelligent canvas that collapses boundaries between apps. Smart chips, building blocks, and templates speed content creation and provide you with rich information from a variety of sources directly in your doc, which eliminates context switching and helps you be more efficient and focused. Today, we're excited to announce 3 new Smart Canvas innovations, including third-party smart chips, which bring rich data from non-workspace apps directly into your doc. Custom building blocks, which allow organizations to easily create their own building blocks for anyone in their organization. And finally, Smart Canvas is coming to Sheets, which will allow users to insert people and document shapes directly into Sheets, making it even easier to keep data in sync across your workspace users. When it comes to time management, I love hearing how Iron Mountain reduced their average meeting time from 1 hour to 31 minutes using Speedy Meetings in Calendar. That's a big win. On my team, we use some additional tools in Calendar to better communicate our availability and working hours and to protect our ability to focus on deep work. As a team, we've agreed to share working time and locations in Calendar. This helps set expectations with coworkers about availability and working hours. It's easy to set up as an ongoing schedule and then only update it when you need to make a change. We use this information to coordinate time together in our physical office. No more showing up for your in-office days and being the only one there. It helps us respect work-life balance of our teammates, and especially in different time zones. For me personally, the ability to carve out dedicated focus time has been huge. I reserve a couple of blocks of focus time each day. These repeat every week on the specific days I select, and I can set them to automatically decline new meeting requests and to set my status to do not disturb. I encourage my team to do this as well, and we found that having specific times set for deep work helps us show up and be more present when we're connecting in real time. Time Insights is also another useful feature to explore how I'm investing my time at work. Time Insights shows a breakdown of your working hours based on event type, time spent in meetings, and who you're regularly meeting with. I check on a regular basis to make sure I'm spending comparable amounts of one-on-one time with all of my direct reports, not just folks who ping me all the time. This has helped me ensure that my team culture is more inclusive and every voice is getting heard. With that, I want to express a huge thanks to Nerina Martinez. The Workspace team is proud to be a part of Iron Mountain's hybrid journey. Workspace is the best way for people and teams to connect, create, and get things done in the hybrid workplace. I'm excited about our announcements today, and we'll share more as we continue to innovate for hybrid. To learn more about how Workspace can help your organization make this journey, download our handbook, which we've just updated to reflect our newest insights and recommendations. Thank you so much for joining us today, and enjoy the rest of next 2022.